Hello and welcome to the eve of week 11 of this year. And the interesting thing about this week is two things. One is, I think it's it. This is it. I think we have potentially got there. I think that this is a week that to me feels like looking down at the precipice of a roller coaster, because I really feel like the last 11 weeks, or more than 11 weeks, however long I've been doing this for, has been untangling a bunch of invisible threads in my mind, and a lot is going on below the surface, but actually the visible improvements aren't coming as fast as you might expect. However, I feel as though this week might be the week where we start to see some really rapid improvements in just some of the aspects that I have been struggling with for a very long time. The reason I say that is because I really feel like the last week was the week where I thought I was there. I thought I was there last week, but actually there was some final hurdles that I needed to untangle in my mind around shooting, around making videos, and around what makes me happy and what makes me tick creatively. And I feel like I have got there. Now, this could be another false start. And I do think there's some rip the band-aid off kind of stuff that I need to do, in the sense that there is still this resistance to the fear of failure that I want to state. That's why I'm sort of saying this is it. This is the week that I think we have arrived somewhere that will be a productive precipice, let's say. All of that is super abstract. What I mean by that is there is a bunch of work I've done on the pre-production side that makes it much easier for me to do pre-production. There's a bunch of work that I've done mentally on my own motivation, confidence, and that type of stuff. And that is those two pieces sort of, and a bunch of other stuff like my environment, my workspace, workflows, all of this, blah, 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 blah. Ignoring all of that other stuff. Including, which might be a small thing, but including making an app which solves a lot of my what am I supposed to do today things. Now, I might talk about this app in other videos, but I made an app just for myself because I just really needed to solve this one problem. And I was trying to find a tool that really fit my needs. And I found a couple that I kind of nearly solved them. And I was like, okay, let me figure out if I can make this app really quick. And I kind of could, so I decided to. And so that's also part of it. There's a bunch of workflow things that I've just have been tripping me up. And ultimately what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into a state of flow. And so all of these things have culminated in this sort of tapestry of improvements. And I think that this week might be one of those ones where we get to actually limit test whether or not all those improvements have come together in a way that will give me a real step change in terms of my productivity. And I hope so. The other reason why that's quite fitting is that this will be, I believe, video 95. And I'm almost at 100 videos, which means I am almost at 100 days of trying to work on this problem in public. And so I'm not saying that I'm going to be solved by video 100, but there is something poetic about reaching a milestone in my own ability to untangle the problems that I'm facing around my work and myself, at giving myself 100 shots at target. So that's just something that I thought was interesting and cool. So that's this week. That's this week. I really do think that this week is one of those weeks. It's one of those weeks. And I really believe that we might be seeing this type of improvement happens slowly, 95 days, and then all at once, whatever's next to come. And I hope that this is the moment where we get into the all at once, because I really feel like we've just been ticking up on that roller coaster waiting for the time where we can really drop down with speed. And I hope it's this week. And I kind of am somewhat confident that it could be this week. I'm really excited, and I really hope that this is it.